What's up, Internet? It is I, Yusef, here yet again with incredible, amazing, unique, original content. We're doing a Q&A round 2. Here we go. I should have done this months ago. Sorry about the fan noise. I'm in a 100-year-old basement in Baltimore, and there's no air conditioning down here, and it's 6,000 degrees. So I figured instead of dying on camera that I would sacrifice some audio quality so that I didn't burn alive. All right, let's do a little bit of question answering, huh? Let's go. All right. Is new ToTheArk material on the way or someday? Probably not. ToTheArk was an old high school band, and the reason why that album most recently just came out is because that was our sort of culmination of work over the past like 8 years or something like that. So I was just like, hey, we've had all this stuff recorded. Why don't we just put this out? And then we can, you know, put an end to this nonsense. So that's pretty much what happened. But you never know. We might, for some reason, just suddenly decide that it's time to make some more music, and that'll be that. So, and for those of you that haven't listened, I'm incredibly proud of this album. I've put my heart and soul, and as I said, like 8 years into it. You can check it out. It's ToTheArk, one word. Yes, it is Marble Hornets inspired. No, most of the lyrics have nothing to do with Marble Hornets. Drop some dirty riffs. You got it. Coming real soon. Or actually, hopefully, I'm already doing that all the time. I'm trying to drop dirty riffs all the time. Your spin on a When Worlds Collide cover by Powerman 5000 would be perf. Yeah, I'm probably down for that. That would probably be pretty sick. Can I get a hug the next time I see you? Chris, you can get a hug whenever you want. You know you're already getting a hug. You don't even need to ask for that. It's happening. In fact, I think I saw you since you asked this question and hugged you. So it went great. Tell me your favorite Misery Signals jam and why. Probably going to be either Coma or The End of the Shallows. The End of the Shallows is just this amazing soundscape, and I adore it so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Coma is just a generally great song. Pretty much anything off of Controller is going to be a 10 out of 10 from me, dog. The vocals are like some of my favorite vocal production I think I've ever heard. Yes. Yes. What's the first riff you ever learned how to play? I have no idea. I want to say one of the first things I remember, I started out playing bass, and my neighbor up the street was my bass teacher. Shout out Scott, my dude. And I learned Hey Man, Nice Shot by Filter. And then I played a lot of Papa Roach and Fear Factory and Korn. That was kind of my big stuff growing up. I remember freaking out about the beginning of one of the Fear Factory songs off of Archetype. What's it like being my favorite YouTube musician? There's a lot of guilt involved. I feel really bad because I seem to very often take year breaks between uploading videos. I'm trying to get a lot better about that. I think I have gotten better about that. I'm hoping everybody's enjoying said content. You know what I mean? I put a lot of love into it, and I really screwed myself up by setting the production value bar as high as I did, because it really makes me want to not make videos because of the amount of time that I have to set up all of this stuff just to make a video. That being said, thank you so much. That is incredibly nice of you to say. I really appreciate it, and it helps me drive to keep setting this stuff up so that I can make content for people like you who enjoy it. I've just hit the mic with my chin like 60 times. Are you gonna write post-hardcore at some point? You have a good voice. Thank you, dude. I feel like sort of technically I have written some post-hardcore. Once again, another little side project thing called TABPXDSME, which is the Aurora Borealis Project and Yusef Stalin's musical endeavors. Holy good Lord, that's a lot of words. It is a little passion project from my friend Eric Hendricks and I. He did pretty much all of the vocals and wrote all of the lyrics. That's another album that I'm really, really proud of. It's very heartfelt. There's a lot of emotion that went into that one. So if you're interested, check out TABP space X space DSME. Regarding healthcare and that thing that will remain unnamed stuff, hope you're doing well. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. We've been pretty safe here. We started quarantining around the end of February, and we've really only left the house to go grocery shopping at like 3 a.m. when nobody's out. And we've gone to a couple protests, but we've been pretty strict on hand sanitizer and masks and social distancing. So I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's doing well. What is your favorite / most used guitar you own right now? Probably my double slit 8-string. That thing just has some of the best tone I've ever come across. There are definitely some drawbacks. It is just a humongous, gigantic monster, and sometimes it's a little tough. It's like 29.5 scale or something like that. So big neck. And it's got a couple of fret leveling problems that I got to handle. I just realized I'm looking at it, but you can't see it. So it just looks like I'm looking off in the distance. Beyond that, my Franz and Custom 6-string is getting a lot of use. That thing is just a workhorse, and it sounds awesome with those bare knuckle emeralds. And I just grabbed myself a Bossy USA Lorata, which I am very much looking forward to using and abusing all over the place. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have a demo video, and then probably just a ton of videos from here on out are going to be played on that one. How do I compress my master track? Jump in there with a VCA style compressor first. Then after that, throw in a multi-band compressor. Basically, I do that like lows, mids, high mids, and then highs. Hit the mic. And then from there, I drop 2 limiters. And people are just throwing up right now who do this professionally, but it works for me. I drop 2 limiters, one with a slow release and then one with a fast release. Which budget pickups from DiMarzio or Seymour Duncan for Genty Gents? Their Nazgul is awesome. That thing has just the angriest like squawk to it, and it sounds great for Genty Gents. As for DiMarzio, I don't know them super well, but I have an Evo 2 in one of my 6 strings, and that thing, I fell in love with it a long time ago and have never replaced it. But I actually did just get a new set of instrumental pickups, which I am going to replace that Evo 2 and the, I think, stock neck pickup. So I will check in with y'all as to how that goes as well. Best tips for going off to college, especially as a music major. I did not go to college, and I actually specifically did not want to go to music school because, I didn't want music to become a job. And now here I am. It is my main source of income. But I've just never been a school guy. School has never treated me particularly well, so I kind of avoided it. But it definitely is very important for some people, so I hope you get a good amount out of it. As far as I know from others, the biggest thing you can take away from music college, or I guess from college, is like making connections. So you want to make friends with everybody that you can, so that you have your network once you get out of school. And that's really what helps you out, I think. I don't know, though. I don't know what I'm talking about. I have BKP Aftermaths, Diodario NYXLs and cables, and Neural DSP plugins. Why my tone bad still? Sounds like you need to play harder. I doubt your tone's bad, man. I bet it sounds awesome. You just gotta have a little confidence in that guitar playing of yours and in that tone. Who is Sif, and why did you draw him? Yeah, I'm still really embarrassed about my misspelled nickname. So it keeps me humble, I guess. Something. Are you gonna do any more funny metal remixes? Probably. I don't have any particularly planned right now, but that is a thing that just kind of happens at some point. Some amount of insanity while recording music, you just have to let it out and make some weird remixes and stuff. So there will be more at some point. How do you come up with aggressive, cool rhythms? You got me, man. It just kind of lives in my head. There's generally something going at all times in my head. I just kind of have little rhythms or songs or melodies or something just screaming at me. It's great. Being a musician is awesome. When's your next album coming out? Sometime. Right now, I am deep in the process of finishing the next, or first, the only Grey Lotus album, and that hopefully will be making its way into the public very soon. When do I get to hear some more of that sultry voice? I've actually got a couple little things coming up real soon that's gonna give you some of that sultry voice. So stay tuned. When are you finally gonna make some new music again? I'm working on it. I've got, I want to say, something like 7 songs that are just about ready. I just got to write some lyrics for them. I've also been writing a bunch of riffs for this YouTube channel, so that hopefully has kind of balanced it out a little bit. Your album title, Anhedonia, how do you overcome that feeling? Time is a big part of it, I think. I've done a lot of work on myself and trying to change my outlook on a lot of things. Attempting to keep myself in the now. And also I found a very important part of achieving and maintaining happiness is to define what happiness is. I think a lot of people have not done that. Define your success and define your happiness, and you will find it much easier. Hopefully that's helpful somewhat. I'm not an expert. I'm just a dude who makes music. I got a hot sauce company that sent me eggs and a heart, I think. So shout out to you. Send me some of your stuff and I'll review it. Teach me how to program drums. I suck. If you jump in on my Patreon/YouTube membership, I actually just put out an hour-long video of me programming drums and kind of showing some little secrets and that kind of thing. Can we expect a new album? Yes, it's coming. I don't know when, but it's coming. Just keeping being you. Thank you, Joe. Just keeping being you as well, man. Everybody check out Joe Cardamone's photography and acting. Could you recommend a good camera? Looking to get a new camera, but not break the bank. Well, I really recommend this camera that I'm using right now, the Panasonic GX85. You can generally find them for about $400. They shoot in full 4K. They're nice and tiny, so you can take them wherever you need to. They've got in-body stabilization. I just can't say enough nice things about this camera. Any new material coming out? Loved your last album, by the way. Thank you. Yes, new material will be coming soon. Teach me how to fart to a metronome. You need to eat a lot of beans and drink a lot of coffee and just believe in yourself. How do you do that fuzz guitar layer thing you mentioned one time? So the idea is I will track 3 different doubles. So the first double will be a sort of high focused guitar tone. The second double will be a low/mid focused guitar tone. So at this point we have 2 guitar tracks per side. And then for the heavy sort of breakdowny parts, I will track another one with either a fuzz pedal or an HM2 clone. Shoutouts, Eris Effects, Merciless Distortion. Bring it back, it's great. And so that is 3 guitars per side, and that one is basically just all nasty high mids, and it just adds a nice little texture that makes everything much heavier. What is your favorite amp sim for recording? Right now, probably Neural DSP's Archetype Nolly. I've also been using the Granifier plugin a lot. I love Granifier for chugs, and I like Archetype Nolly for, it's basically a Swiss Army knife. It does whatever you need it to. Was there a moment you became Guitar Tim and Eric, or were you always a shitposting god? Just from birth, shitposting all over the place. How do you go about getting past writer's block? I think I answered this in the last one, but I'm going to answer it again. Do something completely different. Even if that means just not even writing music, maybe write a poem or something, or write a haiku, or write something completely outside of what you normally do. Just take a step back, mess around, have some fun, and then your creative juices should begin flowing, and it should be pretty easy for you from there. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It helps me out a bunch with the algorithm that is never kind to anyone. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you actually want to see more content, ring that bell and YouTube will tell you that I've uploaded a new video. If you want to support content like this, you can become a member of my Patreon or YouTube. They are the same thing, just in different places, and Patreon takes less of a percentage. You can get stuff like song stems, tutorials, videos a day early, guitar tabs, and exclusive access to a Discord channel where we talk about breakfast foods. Thanks so much for watching. Wave hello to a bird in the tree. Hello, Mr. Bird. I'll see you next time.